like giving up on your manifestation? Then this video is just for you. Hey, hope you're well. And in this video, I will be talking about how to deal with it if you're wanting to give up on your manifestation. Today, I'm going to talk specifically to you, the person who is listening to this video, because I know how this process can sometimes feel like. I know sometimes the urge to give up is very, very high. I know sometimes all you want to do is you just want to let go and you want things to come to you naturally, automatically, but it's very difficult to do. I know how sometimes the physical world can look so difficult that you don't feel that you are going to get out of it. I also know that sometimes there is so much advice on what to do that you are constantly going to get insecure and you're constantly going to check if maybe the reason that I'm not succeeding is me, if maybe the reason that I'm not getting better is me. I wish I was just more consistent. I wish circumstances were easier. And then comes the negative thoughts, because there can be a lot of negative thoughts. There can be a lot of fears. There can be a lot of negative thoughts that can come up and just surround you and just support you in a way where you're not really able to handle it and you keep on doubting yourself. I know you are also going to get some negative feelings. So, if all of these things, or even one of these things, is something that you have struggled with, then this video is for you. I'm talking to you specifically. So, today, what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you 4 things that I do if I feel like giving up. Because believe me, I really feel like giving up a lot of times on my manifestation, on many, many things, because I'm also a human being just like you. I think people have this perception of coaches and people who are great at their fields, great in their areas, is that they don't ever get negative thoughts. I was watching this documentary. I don't remember the name of this person, and he's the fastest marathon runner in the world. He recently passed away in a car accident. And I was watching his documentary and he said this one thing in his sentence. Every morning I wake up, I feel like giving up. And I think that's the difference between people who succeed and people who don't. Is people who succeed, when they get the urge to give up, they push forward. And people who don't, when they get the urge to give up, they actually succumb to their feelings. They actually listen to their feelings and they give up. So, the first thing that I do when I feel like giving up is I compare things with the past. Now, let me help you understand this in a good way, because all of these 4 things that I will tell you are things that will absolutely work, because I have done them so many times before. Because I have been into this process for such a long time that all of the doubts that you go through, I have went through them at least 10 times each, and I have came out of them. That is why I'm here. That is why I'm standing. So the first thing I do is I compare things to the past. Now I do this in 2 ways. So whenever we are going through something negative, right, we all have a tendency to catastrophize it. What that means is, let's say you lose your job. The first instinct that comes to your mind is not that I lost my job. The first instinct is, oh, now I lost my job. Now I will not have money to eat food. So we have this tendency of catastrophizing it. Let's say you have a fight with your partner. The first instinct that comes to your mind is not that, we are two people who had a fight and sometimes can have a different opinion. The first thing that comes to your mind is, oh, now she will leave me, or now he will cheat on me, or now he will do all these things. So we have this tendency of catastrophizing things, right? And we do that because our mind has this job to protect us. It has this job that it wants to protect you. It wants to make you feel safe. And in order to make you feel safe, it needs to assume what threats are going to be, right? So if there is a threat, it is going to try to get these threats sorted, and it is going to predict what are the situations which have the tendency and the potential to hurt you, and because of which we end up catastrophizing things, right? The best thing to do in these moments is to compare things to the past. That, what, in the past, have I gone through similar circumstances? Like, have there been moments where I've had a fight with my partner, or I was in a no contact situation, or maybe I lost my job? Has it happened before that I didn't have these things? Yes. How did it work out though? Did it work out okay? Like, am I in a position where I was not able to handle it? The answer is no. In fact, all the issues that you have went through, you have handled. That is why you are here alive. No matter how much you dislike yourself, you cannot take away the fact that you have survived 100% of the bad days that you have had, right? So just taking that into account really helps. The second way it helps is because when we compare things to the past, we automatically end up seeing that all of the things that we went through have taught us something in some way, shape, or form. Now, they might not have taught us something instantly, but eventually they have. So if you think about a breakup that you had when 5 years ago, that breakup might have felt very, very bad at that time. But I'm pretty sure that after a certain point of time, you would have gotten something out of it. You would have told yourself that, you know what, at least I learned this from this. And that is the win that we have to celebrate, right? So comparing things to the past really helps. The second thing that I do is check the number of no's. Now what does that mean? There is this guy, I don't remember his full name. His first name is David. He was this multi-millionaire who lost all his wealth and then he got it all back. He's a big follower of the law of assumption, the law of attraction. He follows manifestation a lot, and he also talks to many other creators who follow the same thing. So Gary Vee, he's a big YouTuber, he's a big businessman. He also follows the law of attraction in some of his works. So what happened with him was he got a lot of wealth, and by the age of 23 he was a multi-millionaire, and then he lost it all through some bet, through something that he did, and then he gained it all back. And what he said was, when I lost it all, and I used to, go through my process, and every time I used to face a rejection, I used to tell myself that, you know what, every rejection, every rejection that I'm going through is one step closer to where I want. So think about it. Let's say I were to tell you that you are 4 dates away from being with the love of your life. When a date goes bad, would you be worried or would you be happy? Because one date got out of the picture, right? This is something that many athletes do too. So there is this athlete, his name is Max Verstappen. He's a F1 driver. So he, in one of his interviews, said this thing that if I have a bad race, I know that through the law of averages, I will eventually end up having a good race. Right? So when I have a bad race, I actually tell myself that it's great. I had a bad race, so now it's out of the picture because now my way of getting better and my good race is going to be closer. So the next time you face a rejection or if you're feeling hurt about a circumstance, tell yourself that what if I were just 30 bad instances away from getting what I wanted? If this instance is one of those, so great. I'm just 29 ones away from getting what I want, right? The thing is, our mind doesn't work well when there is an uncertain amount of time that we have to deal with issues. So even when you go through a breakup or something bad happens, you're actually not worried about going through that thing. You are worried that on a daily basis I will need to relive it, right? And I don't know till when, right? But if I were to tell you that, all the pain that you are facing will go away in 15 days, you will be fine because you have this time through which you are able to tell yourself that, after 15 days I will get better. But give yourself that timeline so that your mind has the ability to deal with it better. Tell yourself, I'm only just a number of no's away from getting what I want. This is just one of those. The third way through which I actually help myself when I feel the need to give up is I don't make it a pattern. Now let's understand what this means because there are two steps to this. So think about this. Let's say I join a gym, right? And let's say in January 2023, let's say I joined a gym. For the first month, I was not consistent. For the second month, I was not consistent. In fact, I was not consistent for the first 10 months. But then I started being consistent for 2 months. And at the end of 1 year, I don't have the body that I want. Would I say that my 2 months of consistency didn't pay off? Or would I say, oh, I joined the gym 1 year ago and it didn't pay off? The truth is, more often than not, we use the second one. We actually connect time to things where we didn't even apply things together. So a lot of you do this too. So I have been in this journey for 5 years, Karana, and I have not gotten what I wanted. But then when you truly understand it, it has just been 2 weeks since you have been consistent with your actions, with your routines, with everything. Maybe 3 weeks ago you chased, but somewhere you are counting time for 5 years. How is that really realistic? How is that really correct? But when you create that time, all you tell yourself is, I am a failure because for 5 years I couldn't succeed. Do you think that really helps you? Do you think that really helps you get you where you want to be? No, right? So don't make it a pattern when there isn't one. Don't connect two things together where there is no connection to be made, because that thing that you are unconsciously connecting will put you down in levels that you don't realize it yet. The second thing that we do is we connect patterns. So I was having this conversation with one of my clients, and what happened with her was she's trying to get jobs, right? And earlier she was getting rejected on her CVs, but then she started getting interviews and she started getting rejected because of that. And she said, I have been getting rejections for such a long time. Is that really a correct pattern though? Because things grew, right? Earlier you were not getting even accepted in your CVs. Now you're not getting accepted for your interviews. This middle part, it changed. There was a change that happened. So when you say that, there is a pattern that I have not been getting a job for such a long time, all you're telling yourself is that I have not grown at all over all these rejections. But is that true? Because if it is true, then there is something really wrong with how we are perceiving this, right? Making a pattern out of something that isn't a pattern is really, really harmful, and it will create some negative situations for you. In fact, what would be better would be to tell yourself that, what, I will take all these events day by day, event by event, right? So if I get rejected today, I will just make it about today. I will not connect it to 50 things in the past and make a pattern out of it. The last thing that I do when I feel the need to give up is I ask myself, what can I learn from this? What is the one thing that I can learn from this situation? What is the one learning that I can get myself? Because if I'm not really learning anything, then there is no point of this at all, right? But what can I learn from this? If this rejection is happening, what is it teaching me? Where am I lacking? What can I do different? How can I deal with it differently? Is it really an opportunity for me to behave differently? Because if the answer is yes, then I can do that. If the answer is yes, then I can use that. So use that. Don't let the suffering that you got go to waste. Learn something from it. Make sure that it doesn't repeat again. Make sure that you come out a different version of yourself from this, because otherwise there would be no point to it. So I hope that you are able to deal with this, and I know that you will. I believe in you, I trust in you, and I will see you specifically in the next video.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe and share if you like the video. The link for my one-on-one coaching, my self-help courses, and my free newsletter are in the description box below.